NoCal to take on the Halos. Fox Sports West presents Angels Baseball. Fans flocking to the Big A, hoping to forget about that Minnesota Twins series, and why not? They're kicking off a 3-game set here at the Big A between the Angels and the Oakland Athletics as opening week presented by Mitsubishi Motors continues. Hi, everyone. From inside the Big A, I'm Victor Rojas, along with Mark Gubiza. Glad you could join us here for Angels Baseball. Tonight, the Angels will be sending right-hander Matt Palmer to the hill in place of the injured Scott Kazmir. And as we saw last year, he was absolutely fantastic.
Victor, you can make an argument they don't make the postseason if it wasn't for Matt Palmer last year. He can sink the fastball, he cuts the fastball, curveball, slider, and a changeup. 11-game winner last season. When he took the mound as a starter, the club was 11-2, so he just had to win ball games. Pitches deep in the ball game and very competitive.
Well, he will be going up against the left-hander Gio Gonzalez. And since we are talking about pitchers, and of course on a somber note, it was 1 year ago today that the Angels family lost a terrific man and a terrific pitcher by the name of Nick Adenhart. This year, the Angels deciding to memorialize Nick by presenting the Nick Adenhart Award. The first recipient going to Jared Weaver, a very close friend of Nick. That was presented before the ball game. Nick Adenhart, certainly a terrific man, a terrific pitcher, and a horrible loss for the Angels family. He will be remembered for many, many years to come. And of course, a terrific start against the Oakland Athletics. We've got game one right after this.
couple inning work out of the bullpen this Tuesday against the Minnesota Twins. Sinks his fastball, 87 to 89 range. Cuts the fastball, so a good slow curveball, slider, and a changeup. Very quick move to first base in case there is some base runners for Oakland, who has been a little bit more aggressive on the base pass the last few seasons.
Let's check out the Home Depot doing more on defense for the Angels. Out in left field, Juan Rivera. Torrey Hunter at center, Bobby Abreu in right on the infield. Brandon Wood at third, Meister Asturis at short, Howie Kendrick at second, Kenji Morales at first. Doing the catching tonight for Matt Palmer is Jeff Mathis.
Meister Asturis going from third last night over to shortstop position. Very soft hands, 25 starts at shortstop last season. Doing a double play very well, makes all the routine plays, but has a strong enough arm to make the spectacular play also.
Ibar getting the night off, having played the first 4 games of this series. Angels losing 3 of 4 at the hands of the Minnesota Twins. Twins now in Chicago. The Oakland Athletics on the flip side lost on opening night and came back and took 3, the next 3 from the Seattle Mariners. They sit atop the American League West right now with a 1.5 game lead. They've done it with pitching and defense, and their hitting offense in general hasn't been too shabby either. They come in hitting .290 as a ball club, still early in the season. The first pitch from Matt Palmer's in for a strike. Bob Guerin at the helm for the Oakland Athletics, his 4th season. He's got a career record of .226, .259. Rajay Davis, .316 here on the young season. A home run, 2 runs batted in. Breakout year for him last year. He lines one into center field. Torrey thought about it, but he'll play it on the hop. Leadoff single for Davis. Take a look at the Hyundai keys to the game, Gooby.
Well, Matt Palmer, this is his first career start against the Athletics. He has 5 games out of relief. Good ERA against him. He always seems to have the big home run, not only against Matt Palmer, but against the Angels in general. Big thing, too, also, look for Matt Palmer to use that quick slide step and pickoff move to first base, because a guy like Roger Davis, 2 stolen bases already, will put the pressure on the defense of the Angels.
Davis had 41 stolen bases last year. You mentioned Mark Ellis. Boy, what a terrific start he's off to as well for the A's. Davis thought about going and stopped. Derek Barton, .269 last year in 54 games with the A's. .333 here in the early going, as Mark pointed out, the 5 runs batted in. Guy they've been waiting for. They've had some young guys come through. Years past, they've gone with some veteran guys. It's Mike Sweeney or Frank Thomas, Orlando Cabrera, Nomar Garciaparra, waiting for those young guys. They always had the young arms.
I talked to Billy Beane at the very end of the season, their GM. Talked about some of their younger players coming up through the system. The majority of their power threats are around the AA level, getting close to AAA. But now, some of the younger ones with speed and some pop here at the big league level.
And missing outside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. The Angels last year 12-7 against Oakland. Putting that season-ending sweep. Davis was off at the pitch.
He had a pretty good jump. That was not a hit and run. He was going all the way because he didn't look back to pick up the baseball at all. He felt he had a good enough jump to be able to steal the base.
Palmer ahead of the count at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Matt now in his 2nd season with the Angels after spending the previous 7 in the San Francisco Giants organization. Made just 4 appearances in spring training, including 2 starts. We saw him on Tuesday night after pitching 2 innings. scoreless baseball. Barton out to left center field. Rivera's not going to get this one. All the way to the wall. Davis will come around to score. Barton's thinking about third. He'll stop at second. A strike first. It is 1-0 Oakland.
This is a solid piece of hitting by Derek. Pitch out over the plate, went with it. See why that 5 RBIs already. That's his first double of the season. Fastball that was on the outside part of the plate and down, but still went with the pitch and drove it with authority. Got by Juan Rivera for an RBI double.
So nobody out of man in scoring position. Oakland up 1-0. Here's Ryan Sweeney. Now Mathis and Palmer want to make sure they're on the same page with the man over at second base running through the signs.
And the big thing is when the man on first, let's go through this, that one sign, but with man on second, because they can look in there, either give location or what type of pitch you're going to be throwing. They want to make sure they hide that well enough where there's no way the guy at second base can relay that into the batter.
Just missing down low. It's 1 ball, no strikes. And Derek Barton just continues to hurt the Angels. Sweeney the opposite way. Almost took Mike Gallego, new third base coach for Oakland.
He's a solid player back in his day for the Oakland, Yankees, and other clubs. Can't be a comfortable feeling when that's coming that hard, especially at the end of the bat.
On the ground. Nice diving stop by Brandon Wood. There's out number 1.
He's showing some great range, Brandon Wood, on that play. You make the play, but you're also able to keep the runner at second base. A little extension, dives, presence to look up, make the throw across to get a key out here in the first inning. There's no question Brandon Wood has the defensive skills to be a star at third base. It's going to be that patience and confidence at the plate. It's going to make him an all-star type player if he starts believing in his swing.
And if he doesn't make that play, that ball trickles out into left field. We're talking 2-0 instead, since Isturiz was kind of charged with trying to keep Barton close to the bag at second. There's Kevin Kuzmanoff, the third baseman, coming over in an off-season deal with the San Diego Padres. Committed 3 errors all of last year at third base for San Diego. Airmailed one the other day. He's human. He's mere mortal.
He is a great glove there at third base himself. It's an above average throwing arm at third base.
Now we got him. Question is where, and it looks like the wrist area as he takes off the body armor.
Palmer, he does pitch inside. The lefties and righties. Coming in with this fastball running. 2-seam fastball gets in. Really went in there, got the hand of Kuzmanoff. The sinker ball pitcher, when they drop their elbow at all, you're going to have that run in action. No way to get out of the way because you're thinking outside with that pitch, but it's running right in at you.
A little deflection there from the jersey over to the right wrist area. 1 out, 2 on. Kurt Suzuki at the plate. First pitch strike. Suzuki with a home run, 3 runs batted in. He's got a couple of doubles already this year. Nice season last year, that .274 average with 15 home runs. The top run producer for Oakland last season with 88 runs batted in as he pops with foul, and this one curled into the seats.
souvenir baseball.
Got to sacrifice the body.
Did you ever get any foul balls watching the game as a kid?
I never did.
Neither did I. I went to a lot of games.
I watched my brother catch one up in the Coliseum. He was on the first base side in the upper tank back in, I don't know, 75, 76, 77. Here comes the 0-2. Nice job by Mathis. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Palmer, you know, he's one of those guys that has to get into a rhythm. Those first 3 innings, the ERA nearly 6. Once he gets through that, he's in cruise control. This is something that is a pitching coach, Mike Butcher. They talk about preparation down in the bullpen. Is he's not throwing enough? Is he throwing too much? It's a feel down there before you get in the game.
Palmer and Mathis taking a little bit of time here, trying to decide on the side. And that is pulled through the hole on the left side, base hit. Being waved home is Derek Barton. Here comes the throw home. Barton is safe at the plate as that ball hops over the glove of Mathis. And the other A's runners advance 90 feet. Kuzman off to third, Suzuki to second. Oakland's up 2-0.
Boy, strong throw by Juan Rivera, but one of those tough hops as a catcher to try to be able to catch the baseball and apply the tag at the same time. Hanging break a pitch. Out over the plate, but Juan charged it very well. Up the line just enough, but you try and prepare to be able to feel that contact coming in. Juan, strong arm. One of the strongest arms in the American League from the left field position.
It's one of those plays as a catcher that you become almost short arming it. As a catcher, you either want that ball in the air or that long hop that skips right to you so that you can position yourself nice and low as far as the low center of gravity and brace yourself for the brunt of the hit. But that was not the case as Chavez fouls one off to the left.
We'll get a better look at that play at the plate here on Howard's Exmo. And Barton, he's ready to be able to have the contact with Mathis. He was unable. You're right. That's a tough play for catch. You with a short hop like that, you try to get it and be able to get yourself in position to apply the tag. Difficult.
Two balls and a strike on Chavez. A guy who has had to battle a number of injuries over the last couple of seasons, limiting him to just 121 games the last 3 seasons. Went to spring training, learning some first base, serving as the DH. Doesn't like that call. It's 2-2. There's Kuzman off over at third. Suzuki at second.
Curveball trying to get that outside corner. Palmer may have gotten one there. You got a gift to see if you can finish it off, keep that runner to third.
Chavez on the ground to second. That will bring home Kuzmanov. It is 3-0 Oakland, but there are 2 outs now. Chavez with his first RBI of the season. Suzuki to third. Here comes Mark Ellis. Ellis hitting a nice, robust .438 average to start the season. Double and an RBI. Just missing outside for ball 1. Angels did make a move before the ball game today. Rob Quinlan placed on waivers. One of those decisions as a as a manager, as an organization, especially for a guy like Rob Quinlan to make that call.
It's a difficult one for Mike Scioscia because Rob Quinlan has been so valuable to the club, playing a number of positions. Very comfortable in his role. Great clubhouse influence also.
Bobby Kazova, pitcher, was brought up. That pitch is in the breaking ball. It's 2 balls and a strike. Kazova, ironically enough, is a Rule 5 selection by the A's from the Angels this past offseason. Returned. Now here in the big leagues with the Angels. Sky out to straightaway center field. Torrey Hunter is under. Makes the catch, but the A's strike first. They get 3 runs. They do it on 3 hits. A's leading the Angels 3-0, but the Halos coming up here in the first. On this Friday night, Meiser Asturis leading things off. He's at shortstop. Bobby Abreu in right. Torrey Hunter is in center. Hideki Matsui, the cleanup man, and the DH. That's left-handed pitching last year, 282 average. Kendry Morales at first base. Juan Rivera in left. Howie Kendrick in second. Brandon Wood back in there after a night off last night. He's at third. Jeff Mathis doing the catching. They're facing a young left-hander by the name of Gio Gonzalez, who is a guy who's had a lot of promise throughout his career and just still has not lived up to it, Mark.
6-7 record last season in 17 starts. Got a fastball 89 to 95 with good movement, above average curveball, and a solid changeup. The big thing you mentioned, consistency. Believing in his ability, throwing strikes.
Asturis dropping one down. Gonzalez firing it onto first. Meiser is retired for out number 1. Defensively for the Oakland A's, Travis Buck in left, Rajay Davis in center, Ryan Sweeney in right on the infield from third to first. Kuzminoff, Pennington, Ellis, and Barton. And behind the plate, Kurt Suzuki.
Anytime a left-handed pitcher's on the mound, generally the third baseman's going to be busy. And one of the better gloves in the American League here in Kevin Kuzminoff. Above average, strong arm also. Comes in well on a bunt. And heard these from Newport Beach. Local guy.
Bobby Abreu comes in batting 200 on the year, looking for that first extra base hit. Fouls one off the left. It's quickly 0-2. The one thing Gonzalez has had problems with over the years, whether it's the minor leagues or even here in the big leagues, the strikeout totals are great, but he's a guy that can be erratic. You kind of lose that focus, all of a sudden issue some walks. He gets Bobby Abreu here. For two batters, obviously looking very good as far as location is concerned.
Now it's time for the course light. Cold hard blast. Torrey Hunter on Tuesday night going oppo. Right center field. That fastball on the outside part of the plate. Here's all Coors Light cold hard blast. We need a few of those going here for the club. Nice task.
It's a big league.
Well, I'm learning from you.
Good luck with that. And home run off of Nick Blackburn and the Minnesota Twins as Torrey takes a strike. It's quickly 0-2. Torrey checked his swinger, did he? No, he did not. Jerry Day was the first base umpire, ringing him up. One complete. A's up 3-0.
I'm on the hill.
The intent was to swing the bat?
Not to swing the bat.
Oh.
Just to check.
Okay. That was the intent.
The intent was to check.
Just keep digging, man.
Keep
digging.
Track the pitch. Well, you know what my normal reaction is? As soon as that bat comes off the hitter's shoulders, it's a strike for me.
That sound you hear is Gubaza in reverse.
Torrey's my man. I got to protect him.
Matt Palmer added the count at 0-2. Gio Gonzalez, we were talking about his control issues.
8 strikes, 8 total pitches. That's commanding the strike zone, I think. Well, we said that's the key for him.
And we saw a lot of that, too, this past week with the Minnesota Twins, as far as controlling the strike zone. Nice pitch by Matt Palmer. And down goes Travis Buckner's out number 1. Get ahead and stay ahead, right?
And then that's that two-seam fastball. Runs back in on the inside part of the plate. A great view of that one, too. And our Honda Exmo shows that fastball the way it starts in at the hip. See him turning, trying to get away, and then it catches the corner.
Cliff Pennington takes down low. Off to a good start as well. 417. A couple of runs batted in. 2 doubles. Late on the fastball there. Pennington got 60 games in last year with Oakland. Hit 279 with 4 home runs, 21 driven home. Hayes scored 3 times on 3 hits in that first inning. Not trying to bounce back, keep things in check. Palmer pitching in the spot that will normally go to Scott Kazmir, who's on the disabled list with that hamstring issue. He's pitching tonight in Rancho Cucamonga, or at least he's scheduled to. Reggie Willett started a rehab assignment last night with the Quakes.
Scott Kazmir said he's ready. He said he was ready even at the start of the season. Good opportunity that last time out extended. He was able to get 7 innings pitched. The pitch count up around the 90 mark.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Palmer, 2 outs. You ever start the year on the DL?
No, but I was on there a few other times, though, as the season progressed. That's that cut fastball. 2 different type of fastballs you see out of Matt Palmer. The 2-seam fastball, and of course he'll throw that cut fastball that will catch the outside corner against right-handed pitching, right-handed hitters.
Davis showing bunt, takes strike 1. Bouncer right back up the middle. Nobody can get this one. Davis on board for the 2nd consecutive time. Trying for second base and in there safely. We saw this last night. Orlando Hudson on a ball hit more towards the alley than that one by Davis. Taking the extra base.
You can tell right out of the batter's box, Davis was thinking in those lines. Picked it up and then all of a sudden then go. Gets the hand in there, slides in safely for a double.
Derek Barton takes outside. He had a double with an RBI. A run scored in the first. Ridiculous numbers against the Angels. 318 average, 3 home runs, 16 driven home.
Some of those hits have been to the opposite field, too. Trusts his hands. Stays back, hits the ball in the outside part of the plate very well.
Only hit 400 against the Halos last year.
Well, that means he made 6 outs out of 10, though. I think of the positive side.
He's not really that good.
No.
Outside, it's 2 balls and no strikes. Barton, a graduate of Marina High School in Huntington Beach. First round pick. St. Louis Cardinals. Back in 03. Part of that Mark Mulder trade.
Mark Mulder looked like one of those guys who's going to be a consistent 18 to 20 game winner for a long time. And injuries derailed a very promising career.
Made it look easy, didn't he?
Free and easy gas. Great idea of the strike zone.
Had that stretch. Zito, Hudson, Mulder. And all of a sudden, Rich Hart pops up. Rich Hart, when he came up.
Not a big guy, but talk about could bring it.
Ridiculous. Barton fouls one at the plate. It's 2-2. Palmer with a couple of strikeouts here in the second. See if he can pick up the hat trick. And that's a full count. Big hole on the left side of the infield as Sturridge charged with trying to keep Davis close to the bag. Even though Brandon's playing off the line. that's in the right center field, a base hit. That'll score Davis. And Barton's trying for second base. And for the second consecutive time, he has an RBI double. 4-0 A's.
That was that two-seam fastball. Objective to throw it in the inside part of the plate. Would have been ran out over just enough. Barton to continue to have that good stroke working for him. It's in, this time in the right center. And Oakland, very aggressive. It's stealing some bases. They got 4 stolen bases as a club this year. Aggressively taking that extra base hits into the outfield, too.
Mentioned early on as a team that's third in the American League in batting average here in the first week. Tied for second in runs, which says a lot considering some of the struggles the A's have had offensively over the last couple of years. And one thing we always heard, especially from a Moneyball perspective, on-base percentage, never seemed to work out in the big leagues. They're leading the pack right now.
Well, they've definitely always been a pacing club. You can see the two-seam grip or Exmo on that pitch there from Matt Palmer. Again, that's a pitch where if you're going to throw that, especially when you have an open base, you're going to throw that at the hip to be able to catch the corner. If you miss, so be it. That ran over the middle part.
This one right back up the middle as Sturridge had him shaded perfectly. There's out number 3. The A's tack on a run as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Hideki Matsui to lead things. The Angels are down 4-0. Sui, Kendry Morales, Juan Rivera, the scheduled 3 Halo batters. It's Gio Gonzalez, who threw 8 pitches in that first inning. Picked up a couple of strikeouts. And Matsui out to deep left center field. Rajay Davis back at the wall. Gone! Godzilla goes big fly to start the second. The Angels are on the board, 4-1 Oakland.
We're talking about tremendous opposite field power. Matsui responding to the sign they just showed for him. The fans digging Matsui already here in Angel Stadium.
Second home run of the year for Matsui, 3rd RBI as Kendry takes a strike. And why not just repeat what they did the other night and go back to back? That too was against a left-hander.
Well, you often hear, well, you'd like to see a starting pitchers throw up some zeros to get the team out of this little bit of a dry spell they're in. But it's going to be up to the offense tonight to respond. And that's a Obviously a good start from Matsui going the other way, hitting that ball out of the ballpark. The offense has to come back, be more patient. We talked about it in the pregame show today. They're getting themselves out early on in the season. Granted, it's only 4 games in, but they're swinging at pitches they wouldn't normally swing at. Mickey Hatcher always working tirelessly to try to make them be more patient, see some pitches. Don't get yourself out.
Milestone for Matsui, RBI number 600 in his Major League Baseball career. Off to a terrific start here with the Angels as Morales runs through a fastball, and it's a full count. Wait, Decky now 7 for 16 to start this year. Last year took him 11 games to get 6 hits. Foul straight back. The count remains 3-2.
Home run to right center, home run to left center. We talked about him when the season started, how he has tremendous coverage to all parts of his ballpark. Left field, right field, could turn on a pitch in the inside part, but still has the presence with his quick hands to go the other way.
Morales locked in on the Gio Gonzalez fastball right now. We've seen 8 pitches in this at-bat.
That's few at 94 miles an hour, too, from Gonzalez against Morales.
Still going back to the fastball.
And a lot of times you see a pitcher, generally when a curveball or a slider or changeup is given, they don't shake their head. Fastball, because it's like an aggressive nature, you'll see them shaking your head. As a hitter, sometimes you give it away on the mound as far as the fastball coming. Now it's the changeup.
Pulled right to third base. Kuzmanov's got it for the first out.
Matsui's at bat here. Fastball elevated in the outside corner. Expo shows the fastball, 4-seam fastball. It stayed back on it. Ball was in the strike zone when he went through and squared it up. And then the palm trees, left center field.
Juan steps to the plate now with 1 out, nobody on. .188 here on this season. 2 runs batted in. Gonzalez missing down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gio Gonzalez, a young guy, just 24 years of age, out of Hialeah, Florida, originally in the White Sox organization. He and Ryan Sweeney coming to Oakland as part of that Nick Swisher deal. As that one is bounced towards the middle. Nice diving stop by Pennington. The throw is not in time. Juan Rivera with an infield single.
Pennington showing some great range. Full extension, knocks it down with the glove. Bounces back from the knees, makes it a close play. Again, we talked about the difference in the philosophy of the Oakland organization. They didn't really put a premium on defense. It's more on power and pitching. But now you can see the acquisition of Billy Beane, and this is for Bob Guerin. They're more defensive oriented. They can steal some bases. They're aggressive. You can win games when you have that type of ability if you can field the ball and, of course, manufacture runs more so.
Kendrick a little bit tardy on that fastball, and it's no balls and a strike. Doesn't hurt either when you've got a rotation like the Oakland A's have, too.
Good young arms, power arms. Talked a little bit about the bullpen, too. Very solid bullpen.
Ben Sheets will be pitching tomorrow night against Jared Weaver. Kendrick breaks his bat to Pennington, takes it himself. 6-3 goes the double play. And that ends the second. But Hideki Matsui gets the Angels on the board. Opposite field jack. 2 complete. 4-1 Oakland.
We talk about squaring up a baseball and a
Top of the third, Oakland's up 4-1. First pitch is cut on by Kevin Kuzminoff. It's a foul ball off to the right. He was hit by a pitch in the first. Came around to score. No official at bat for him. Kuzminoff, Suzuki, and Chavez against Matt Palmer. He's got a couple of strikeouts, no walks, but he's allowed 5 hits thus far. 6 hits thus far. Leadoff man is on board. Here's the Carl's Jr. Series note. 42 games decided by 2 runs or fewer. 24 one-run decisions as far as this series history. Last 75 games.
I think they're always close games. It's been competitive. These two teams have owned AL West crown in 2000 to 2010.
Suzuki takes a strike. Kurt had an RBI single in the first. Hawaiian native who went to school just up to 57 here at Cal State Fullerton. He really has become a terrific catcher in the big leagues, handling the staff, also offensively.
Plays a ton of games, too. Always at the top as far as games played from that catching position. 37 doubles.
Matt Palmer, 51 pitches thus far, 34 for strikes. Kuzminoff doesn't run a whole lot. He's a short lead. Suzuki swings and misses for the first out.
And that was a great fastball. Matt Palmer, you talk about running action. Suzuki looking out over the plate. Makes that commitment in that running fastball in. Handcuffed him. Couldn't even get that full swing. That's a good feeling when you can make a pitch like that, execute it, get a swing like that, particularly when there's no contact.
Get off me swing.
Or in the telephone booth.
Want to know the count on Eric Chavez. An RBI ground out in the first run batted in of the season. He did have one last year, just making sure, in his 8 games. In his prime, what a terrific third baseman, Gold Glove Award winner.
Tremendous power.
On the ground to second. 4-6-3 goes the double play. Top of the third comes to an end. Angels trying to get it going against Gonzalez, down 4-1. And the third, top of the third.
Well, executed perfectly. Good feed, too, by how he flipped it over to Meiser. Kuzmanov coming in hard to take him out. Meiser with that strong throw. Gets out of the way. 4-6-3 double play. Job by the middle infield. Started with that flip, though, by Howie. That was the key.
Brandon Wood, first ball swinging over the short. 1 out. Hey fans, if you're looking for a great value, look no further than the Angels Friends and Family Fun Pack presented by JetBlue. Enjoy 4 game tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 soft drinks for just $44. The next Friends and Family Fun Pack game takes place this Sunday. Purchase your Family Fun Pack today at angelsbaseball.com. Jeff Mathis steps in now. Jeff an even 300, a home run and an RBI. Back-to-back starts for him behind the plate. Napoli got the start back on Wednesday. Gonzalez painting on that outside corner, 2-1.
Impressive pitch, 93 on the corner, especially on a fastball count behind 2-0. Spotted that very well.
Gonzalez has had success against the Angels, albeit limited success, 1-1 last year, 2.92 ERA. He's tops as far as rookies were concerned In 2009, strikeouts per 9 innings. Ratio of 9.94. Now what is foul tipped and hung on to by Suzuki, and there's out number 2. We're in the home stretch for the 2010 census. It's not too late. Fill out, mail back your census form today. Meister Asturis trying to bunt his way on to the first. He's 0 for 1. Breaks his bat, puts one into center field for a 2-out base hit. Brings up Bobby Abreu. First hit of the year for Asturis.
Gio very good as far as negating the running game himself. The Eagles haven't had many opportunities to be able to steal many bases. 1-1-3 to 1-2-1 to the plate. So very quick, good fastball. Talking to Dino Evil before the game, he said, hey, this guy's so quick. We're probably more in a situation where it's a hit and run or go on first move to have a chance at a stolen base.
Suzuki last year behind the plate, allowing 81 stolen bases. Throwing out base runners just at a 17.3% clip. Right back to Gonzalez, snags it. The third comes to an end. 3 complete here at the Big A. Angels down 4-1. Trivia question. The A's currently have 3 left-handers in their starting rotation. Who holds Oakland's single-season record for wins by a lefty? Well, there's your AT&T trivia question as Matt Palmer continues to loosen here to start this 4th inning.
Take a bite of blue.
That's who I would guess. That's the guy that popped into my head. I just... is it going to be one of these tricky ones where like Mark Mulder pops in somehow?
Boy, Vita Blue had some unbelievable gas and a big curveball himself. He had some unreal numbers for Oakland.
Bottom third, 2 up for the A's here.
Did he win the MVP and the Cy Young? I know he won the Cy Young there. I thought he won both one year.
You think he won both?
He won 24-25 one year. I know he had his baseball card.
Took something off there, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Won 22 back in 1975. Yeah, Cy Young and MVP. Actually went 24 back in 1971. 24-8. Asturis, nice play. And there's out number 1.
You weren't doubting me at all, were you, Vicker?
I wasn't sure if he had won both. It's such a rare feat. Last guy I remember doing that was it Willie Hernandez?
In '84 for the Tigers.
Willie, don't call me Guillermo Hernandez?
Yes.
Or is it Guillermo, don't call me Willie Hernandez?
He was a great screwball.
Travis Buck on the ground, backhanded by Morales. 2 outs. Hey, this season, the Angels introduced the hidden halo on pre-scheduled promotional dates. Random fans will receive promotional items marked with the hidden halo. These can be redeemed for a predetermined autograph at guest relations. So come on out to the Big A and look for the hidden halo. 2 outs, nobody on for Cliff Pennington. Pennington, a strikeout victim in the second. I was just going through Vina's numbers. That year he had a 1.82 ERA. Did you ever sniff that? 182?
Well, maybe in spring training. Because I didn't really do real well in April, so I know it'd be too difficult for me to get to that point. I have to throw about, I think, a Hershiser type zeros to get to that.
Torrey Hunter tracking this one down. A 1-2-3 inning from Matt Palmer. Middle of the fourth. That guy right there will be leading things off when we return. Angels still down. (4-1) Oakland here in the bottom of the fourth. Farmers Insurance, true storyline of the game. On this day back in 1966, the Angels opened up Anaheim Stadium. They played an exhibition game here against the San Francisco Giants. Hold for it. Here comes Bobby Knopp. He's going to have a big game-winning hit right there. The old hats that had the halo on top. Good look. Visit farmers.com today to hear more true stories from Farmers customers. Find out who your nearest SoCal agent.
Well, Mr. Autry, what a special person he was.
No doubt. No doubt. There it is. Good looking yard.
Like with the open, remember they closed it up for football. I don't think the ball carried as well with it closed. So I didn't mind that.
Yeah. Of course. Torrey on the ground to short. Pennington comes charging in. There's out number one. Let's go back to our AT&T trivia question. Oakland A's had 3 lefties in their starting rotation. Who's got Oakland's single-season record for wins? Vida Blue with 24. It's got to be the career winner in that category, too, just in general. 24 wins, 20 wins in 73, 17 in 74, 22 in 75, 18 in 76, and 14 in 77. Big league. Hideki Matsui takes his right.
Last time up, fastball out over the plate for Matsui. Opposite field. You got to trust your hands to be able to hit a ball like that.
Hits this one on the ground towards first, but foul. 0-2.
The pitcher making an adjustment. Last time hit that fastball the other way. Now showing a curveball. Slow curveball. 77 miles an hour on that pitch. Mixing a couple of good changeups tonight too. Gonzalez along with that curveball and 94 mile an hour fastball.
Tried to get him to chase that breaking ball. It's 1-2. Gonzalez has 3 strikeouts tonight, 2 swinging, 1 looking. That was Abreu back in the first. Told you earlier that Matsui had reached a milestone of 600 RBIs in his Major League Baseball career with that home run in his second. He's 3 doubles shy of getting to the 200 mark for 2 baggers. Pops this one up. Pennington calls off Kuzminoff. 2 outs. Time now for the United States Marines, leaders of the game. Pennington Morales, 19 home runs after the All-Star break last year, leading the American League. Ended up at 34.
He made a serious threat as far as winning the AL MVP. Majority of those home runs too, the other way. Very difficult to get a fastball by him.
That was a pretty interesting race, the American League MVP. I mean, there's no doubt that Joe Mauer deserved it. But if Miguel Cabrera could have kept it going into September, considering he virtually had no offense around him, he carried that team for the better part. It's tough to argue with that guy. Teixeira as well.
When you have that many players putting up those type of numbers, it's really a difficult task to be able to make that decision.
Morales rolls this one foul. It's 2-2. The tougher decision came in, at least in my opinion, it was a Cy Young. Look at Zach Greinke and Tim Lincecum, as talented as they were. Everyone gets fixated on the wins column. It's tough. Now it's foul tipping. Suzuki can't hang on to it. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes still.
Yeah, usually when you see guys with 15, 16 wins, they're not even in consideration.
Right.
But when you look at ERA and strikeouts, although in the National League, I think Carpenter and Wainwright kind of took votes away from each other. Either one of those guys could have won it too, but Lincecum, though, it's really not. It's so difficult to describe him and the type of stuff he has.
Gonzalez with a 1-2-3 inning. We have played 4. Angels still down. Melted cheese on grilled bread. The new grilled cheese bacon burger. Only at Carl's Jr. starting. Matt Palmer delivers strike one on Rajai Davis. 1, 2, and 3 here in the 5th inning. Davis, Barton, and Sweeney. Palmer with 3 strikeouts. Davis reaches for one. Bounces one over to Brandon Wood. He's out number 1. First time that Davis has been retired. He's 2 for 3 now. He had a single to start this game off. Had a double in the second. He scored twice.
Number 10, first baseman, Derek Barton.
So 1 away for Derek Barton, who's also 2 for 2. 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and a run scored.
With 7 RBIs already in the season. Right center field for double, left center field. Always difficult when you face a guy that can hit the ball like that to both fields. Because that way, you think in lines if he's a pull hitter, you can either jam him in or throw some slow stuff on the outside part of the plate. But the guy who hits the ball hard to both sides of the field, it's a more difficult task.
Especially when you don't have that one particular pitch that you can sit there, whether it's that straight changeup or a hard breaking pitch or a fastball that's in the mid-90s.
General rule of thumb is if a guy can hit the ball hard like that to both alleys, is susceptible to a slow pitch, whether it's a slow curveball or a changeup, because he's going with his hands deep in the zone. But when you do that, you force the hips open, you can get him out on a slow pitch.
That's no 7 runs batted in that Barton has. Both Cabrera and Vernon Wells came into today's action, leading the American League in that category with 7. And he lost it. First walk issued by Matt Palmer and brings up Ryan Sweeney. At Kaiser Permanente, Family Sundays are the perfect way to spend time with your family. Free activities include a wide variety of games and arts and crafts. The first Family Sunday takes place this Sunday against the Oakland Athletics. Tickets still available for $5 off ticket window prices in select seating areas when using the password SPRING at angelsbaseball.com. Ryan Sweeney takes a big bender outside for ball 1. He's 0 for 2, twice having grounded out. Palmer falling behind at 2 balls and no strikes. The only other action going right now in the American League, the Twins and the White Sox still tied 3 apiece. Game of the 10th inning. Sweeney right back off the mound into center field, a base hit. Rounding second, heading to third is Derek Barton. And the A's have runners at first and third, 1 out for Kevin Kuzminoff.
Well, the A's very aggressive on the base pass this year. Usually a station to station club. They'll hit right up the middle by Sweeney. Barton never hesitated. Head down, picks up the third base coach, and easily gets into third base.
Ryan Sweeney now with at least 1 hit in 5 games this season. Kuzminoff had a hit in the third, was hit in the first. 1 for 1 for tonight. 7 hits for Oakland so far this evening. Palmer just threw his 73rd pitch.
Always a good idea, that first pitch, fastball inside with a man on third. You get a jam shot ahead of the count 0-1. Needs a strikeout or a ground ball double play.
Kuzminoff gets jammed. It's quickly 0-2. Mike flashing the signs. Nice job by Jeff Mathis there. It's 1-2.
You know that breaking pitch is coming. If you're a catcher there in that spot, you have options to bounce that. How smooth he gets over it, gets his whole body in front of that pitch to be able to keep it in front of him, so no advancement of the base runners.
Going back to it, it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Back-to-back breaking pitches for Palmer after 2 fastballs to get ahead of the count. And from a slider to a fastball into a curveball. See if we get a swing and a miss.
From 0-2 to 3-2 now. And we see it. Sweeney's off at the pitch at first base with 1 out.
Can run a little bit also. This is a different Oakland A's team, the more aggressive. The Angels always are going 3-2 with 1 out. Pick off play.
Third to first, yep.
Slider here from Mathis to Matt Palmer.
On the ground is short. It's Stewart. Kendrick. Morales can't dig it out. Derek Barton scores. 5-1 Oakland.
Sweeney coming in hard at second base. Look at that throw from Howie. Look, he had a pretty good shot at a double play. A good feed by Meiser. Jimmy tried to be able to make that scoop. A nice job in this homestand on be able to pick that throws. Able to do so there, and Oakland gets another run across.
Long hop, tough to pick over at first base. Howie perhaps thinking, and it's always difficult for a second baseman not knowing where the runner's at. That maybe, just maybe, Sweeney was a little bit closer to the bag than he actually was, and actually had some time, especially with Kuzminov coming out of the back, or out of the box, I should say. Suzuki 1 for 2, had an RBI single in the first. Popped up. The A's get a run. We head to the middle of the 5th, and it's 5-1 Oakland. to figure things out against Gio Gonzalez. Matt Palmer, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. Gio Gonzalez, on the other hand, 4 strikeouts and no walks. He's limited the Angels to just 3 hits so far tonight. 2 in the second, including the Matsui home run. And a single with 2 outs by Meiser Sturis in the third. Rivera, Kendrick, and Wood, 6, 7, and 8 here in the Angels half of the 5th.
Those numbers so far here starting the 5th inning, only 3 hits allowed, no walks. The important thing for him, strike zone command. This is with 4 punch outs. Well, he's pitching tonight using that fastball, throwing in a changeup, his curveball, and his slider have been very effective. Again, that 5th inning, though, for a young pitcher, you know that's the inning you qualify if the team holds on for the W. Try to rush your way through, you lose focus. And that's always been an issue with Gio, is his focus all the way through. Important inning for the Halos to get something working.
Into the dugout on the third base side. Kurt Young and Bob Guerin. Kurt Young on the left, the pitching coach.
He's done a nice job with this young staff. So when you have so many young pitchers basically getting a feel for the game, you have a veteran guy like that around who pitched very well in the major leagues with Kurt Young and talked his way through the confidence level.
There's Dallas Braden.
Brett Anderson, another one of those lefties with a power arm.
Two. Rivera takes slow, full count. Five runs, 7 hits, 3 left on for Oakland. A run, 3 hits, an error, and 1 left on for the Halos. 3-2. Rivera strokes one to left, but right at Travis Buck. There's out number 1. Take a look at tomorrow night's starting pitchers, brought to you by Chevrolet. Ben Sheets, 13-8 with a 3.09 ERA. 2008 with Milwaukee, of course, missed all of last year. Jared Weaver 1-0 already on the season.
Ben Sheets, when he's healthy, #1 type starter. Big curveball, fastball. Health has always been an issue with him.
I think the biggest surprise of the offseason is the fact that, having missed all of last year, Kendrick takes low, the contract that he got and the team that gave it to him. Oakland's not known to be going out in the free agent market and spending that kind of money. Even though people say, well, regardless of what the dollars are, come July 31st, the non-waiver trade deadline, he'll more than likely be gone. So it's really, 4 months for $6 million.
Similar to Matt Holliday last year. Good luxury, though, for Billy Beane and the Oakland A's. If they're in the race, keep them. See what happens. If they're not, then they're able to get some young prospects and rebuild that farm system.
3-1 is down low, and there's the first walk issued by Gonzalez, and it comes with 1 out here in the 5th. I think the problem that anybody had as they saw that signing was, why $10 million? You could probably have had him for $6 million, $7 million plus incentives.
Solid career, but he's a guy that he auditioned for a number of clubs during the wintertime, threw for a number of them, and they were okay, possibly, but then Oakland has jumped out with all that guaranteed money and everyone backed away. If you're Ben Sheets, you don't turn that down, no matter what.
You think? Brandon Wood takes strike 1. He's 0 for 1, having grounded out to short. Brandon chasing that breaking ball. It's No balls, 2 strikes.
That's where Brandon's going to have to shorten up his swing, go the other way, and try to pull this pitch, unless it's a mistake.
Down he goes for the second out. So 2 outs and a man on. Down 5-1. Here comes Jeff Mathis.
Well, he got ahead with the fastball and then back-to-back breaking pitch down and out of the strike zone. So always show that good, nasty slider. You can see the dot of the ball, reading those seams. Good location when you're ahead of the count like that.
Mathis, a strikeout victim in the third, so he's 0 for 1. Angels scoring just once in last night's game against the Minnesota Twins. Game started by Yoel Pinheiro. He worked into the 7th. Giving up 3 runs, all 3 earned. It was Angels' debut, but taking the loss. And that one's through on the left side, a base hit. 2-out knock for Jeff Mathis. Spins the lineup back to the top, and here comes Meister Esteros.
He's been looking since opening day to get that clutch hit with 2 outs with runners in scoring position. Mathis, quick, fastball on inside part of the plate. Hits it through the hole between short and third.
Angels last night wore the collar with men in scoring position, 0 for 9. On the season, just a mere 200, 6 for 30. And it was Esteros that picked up the RBI last night on a sacrifice fly. Getting a chance to cut that deficit. 5-1 Oakland here in the 5th. Kendrick at second, Mathis at first. And that is lined into left field, a base hit. Coming around is Kendrick. The throw from Travis Buck is cut off. And fortunately, there was a bobble by Derek Barton, who may have hurt himself. Otherwise, Jeff Mathis was dead to rights at second base, and that inning would have come to an end.
Well, he was spinning around to make the throw because he saw Mathis off the base when he cut that throw off from the outfield. Hopefully he's going to be all right.
Jeff Mathis had made a huge turn around the bag at second base as we see the single by Esteros.
Well, there was going to be, looked like it had a chance of being a play at the plate. Cut off and then spin around, and well, right away he said Mark Ellis has run right to his teammates' help. Spin around.
Right there.
Well, you hope Derek's all right. He's off to such a great start for Oakland. Well, he cuts off the throw, sees Mathis going past there, drops the ball, and then goes back to reach to get it. Looked like the ankle, or the knee area.
Could
he
be
might end up hanging back in there.
Yeah. It could be just one of those where, kind of like when you roll your ankle, it feels like it's fallen off. You actually walk it off and it's all right.
That's good to see. That looked pretty scary. But again, there could have been a play at the plate there. That was going to be a bang-bang play. But when you're up by 5-1 at that point, and you got Mathis hung at the dry out beyond second base, take the out.
So Esteros picks up his second RBI. Runners at first and second for Bobby Abreu with 2 outs. 5-2 now, Oakland. Big curveball in there for a strike. Bobby's 0 for 2. Struck out looking in the first. Bounce one back to Gonzalez in the third. Count even now. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Look at that Meister once again coming through with that 2-out base hit to drive in a run. There's some life here. Get Bobby Abreu up here with a chance to do some more damage. This is so clutch in those situations.
Here comes the 1-1. A piece of it. 1-2 now.
Similar situation. First at bat, head of the count through the curveball. Next at bat through the curveball again. They get the ground ball back up to Gio himself. So this is a spot now. Look for a curveball. If he can hang it up there, go the other way. Make some contact. Put the pressure on the defense.
Got the breaking pitch. Just got a piece of it. Keeps the at-bat alive.
It's up a little bit too. Didn't quite get it down to where he has the first 2 at-bats against Bobby. Made a mistake.
Good time for Bobby to get his first RBI of the year. Mathis at second and Sturz at first. And he hung it, but Bobby could not make contact. The Angels get a run. We've played 5. A's up 5-2.
Plate, freeze cam. Matsui gets a fastball up and out over the plate. Covers it. You see there, let that ball deep in the zone, but he crushes it the other way with some sound to left center field for Matsui, his 2nd home run. And that was your Coors Light freeze cam, brought to you by Frost Brew Coors Light.
Boy, you sold it. You sold it. Chavez down the left field line, and this one will land about 2 rows back.
Well, that was amazing how he let that fastball get deep in the zone, was ready at the plate, and then bam.
Good numbers against left-handed pitching in his career. Chavez, Ellis, and Buck here in the 6th inning. Looped foul. 4 balls, 2 strikes. Chavez, an RBI ground out in the first, a double play ball in the third. He's 0 for 2. Matt Palmer trying to get to the 6th inning, or through the 6th inning. And allowed the 5 runs. 4 earned. One of the 3 runs in that first inning was unearned. 2-2 on its way. Upstairs. It's a full count. Eric Ibar, Irvin Santana talking things over. Chavez lines one into right center field. Almost takes out Brian Knight, the second base umpire. This one goes all the way to the wall. Chavez is going to stop at second. Well, thank you very much, because anybody else, perhaps, standing at third base.
He thought about it, too. Finally was able to get to that ball and get it into the infield. Small replay shows this pitch. See the elbow drop down? So that's why that pitch was elevated. Chavez was able to hit that ball hard to right center field. But the thing is, you saw that. The elbow was down for Matt Palmer. For a good sinker, you need to have the elbow up, work downhill, and have that sink action.
Wells tries to bunt, but pulls a foul. Oh, Brian Knight, the second base umpire. Heart racing a little bit. Ugly finder.
He still has his hands on his hips.
Jason Bolger's up and loosening now for the Halos. Oakland tonight 2 for 7 with men in scoring position. And for the second straight batter, 0-2 for Matt Palmer.
Interesting thing. Yeah, Markel was squaring around a bunt. That's another thing Oakland never did in the past. They weren't believers in bunting.
Giving up outs. Ellis under the glove of Morales and dropped at first base by Palmer. That's a situation for a first baseman. A ball not hit that hard. How far is too far as far as going to your right?
And that's experience. The more you see ground balls like that hit to you, the more you'll know you'll let your second baseman be in position to make that play. See Kendry off the end of the glove, tips it, deflects it to Howie, and Howie will throw over there Matt Palmer. But as a pitcher, anything hit to that side, right away you go hard to the base, find the base first, but you see him looking for the ball as he's going for the bag. You get to the base, then look for the baseball.
Palmer's getting charged with an error. Runners at the corners now for Travis Buck. And credit Ellis, who was in that sacrifice mode on the first pitch, to get a little breaking ball with 2 strikes and just move the runner over to third base.
Productive would be, if they could make the play, a productive out. Hit the ball to that side, even behind an account. Winning baseball.
Inside, it's 2-0. Travis Buck 0 for 2, struck out with the second, grounded out in the 4th inning.
With
3 balls.
Yep. He's going to be swinging up here if he gets a fastball.
Angels infield halfway. Morales holding Ellis over at first base. Give the Angels infielders an opportunity to read the ball off the bat. If Chavez goes, ball's hit hard enough. Got to play at the plate, take it. If not, take your double play. Downstairs, you want them. Bases loaded now for Cliff Pennington. Hey, this Saturday we get game number 2 of this 3-game set. Ben Sheets going up against Jared Weaver. Looks like we're going to get a pitching change here. That's it for Matt Palmer. Jason Bolger is coming into the ball game. It's a 5-2 Oakland lead as we play here in the top of the 6th inning. By CarMax. Now more than ever, the smart choice is CarMax. And by Carl's Jr. Charlton Royal Black Angus Beef, crispy bacon, and 4 slices of melted cheese on grilled bread. The new grilled cheese bacon burger, only at Carl's Jr. starting at $2.49. A's up 5-2. It's time now for the in and out, who's in, who's out. Matt Palmer is done after 5+ innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. 3 strikeouts and 2 walks, while Jason Bolger takes over out on the mound. Bases loaded, nobody out.
The one thing about Jason Bolger, saw those numbers last year, 6-1 mark. He has the capabilities of getting strikeouts. In this situation, you need to strike out big time and then get the double play ball.
Jason made his season debut a couple of nights ago against the Twins. 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Pennington loops one over to Howie Kendrick. Nice play. Never easy, even on a soft little humpback liner like that when the infield is kind of halfway.
Pretty good range.
Absolutely.
It's that first step that Howie was able to get right off the get-go to be able to make that play. Sometimes your reaction is to think of a full swing that's going to get in the outfield, but he was able to make the play. Now a double play gets you through the inning with no damage.
Rajai Davis steps up. He's 2 for 3. Single, a double, and a ground out. Someone got crossed up. Jeff Mathis will head out to the mound. Eric Chavez over at third base. Mark Ellis at second. Travis Buck at first. There's Davis.
Davis with a lot of speed, but a guy that if you get ahead of the count, you can expand the strike zone. You get a swing and miss. That's a pretty nice job by Mathis to be able to catch that pitch. He was looking fastball and got the curveball instead.
Nice little waiver claim by the Oakland Athletics. Rajai Davis, formerly of the San Francisco Giants. Down low, it's 2 balls and no strikes. Infield still at that halfway mode, at least up the middle. Morales at the cut of the grass at first. Foul at the plate.
Well, if you're a hitter in that spot, bases loaded, 2-0 count, you know you're getting a fastball, and Bolger had to challenge him. He just had a pretty good swing at that fastball also.
Breaking ball, boy, throws him, didn't get the call on the inside part of the plate. 3 balls and a strike.
A better looking than our Fox Tracks curveball, just off the inside corner.
On the ground, and this one through. Chavez will score. Ellis is being waved around. Rivera will not have a play. And it's 7-2 Oakland.
When you have that infield in, any kind of ground ball difficult, it has to be right at the infield. They just chopped it through for a base hit for Davis, who's had a heck of a ball game so far. 3 out of 4, 2 runs scored, a couple RBI. So she didn't envision this type of start after the club started turning around there at the end in spring training, started hit the ball much more consistently.
Barton swinging through that one. And it's 0-1. Palmer still responsible for Travis Buck over at second base. Neil Wong down low. Barton's 2 for 2, a couple of doubles, a couple of runs batted in, a walk, 2 runs scored. That little scare in the bottom of the 5th inning of the infield grass appears to be all right. Playing the bottom of the 5th inning.
Reach it back and get the baseball. See him back in the game. That looked like it was going to be something serious.
2-2 now. Well, the Athletics with 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the 5th, 2 thus far here in the 6th inning. It just makes it that much more of an uphill battle. I'm saying that it can't be done. Hasn't been done, but considering the way the Angels have swung the bat here just to start the season, trying to get the cobwebs knocked off, and doing it against an extremely good and talented pitching staff. The A's coming in with a staff ERA of 2.43. As Barton hooks one past the diving Morales into right. Travis Buck's going to be held at third base. And again, the bases are loaded. Nice effort by Kendry, just could not come up with it.
Off-speed pitch. Fooled Barton, but he was able to still fight it over to Morales' head for a base hit and off-speed, but it was elevated to change up. See the hips opening up, but still kept his hands back through the zone. Rotation of a changeup, and Artsma will show that. The hips open, but Barton kept his hands back long enough to be able to fight that in the right field for a hit.
He kept both hands on the bat.
That's hard to do.
That didn't happen too often on an on-speed pitch like that. Sweeney takes a strike.
At the top of the order, Oakland with 6 hits. 6 out of 7.
Fouled straight back. It's 0-2.
It's a pretty comfortable swings, though, Oakland. When you're a confident club coming into a series, seeing the ball well, good swings. Eventually, you have to think in the lines of to get them uncomfortable at the plate.
0-2 from Bolger on the ground of Morales. He's coming home. They get the force out for out number 2. Davis moves to third. Barton to second. Sweeney reaches on the fielder's choice. 2 outs now for Kevin Kuzmanov. A's third baseman so far tonight, 1 for 2. Guy who was originally in the Cleveland Indians organization, got traded over to San Diego as part of that Josh Barfield trade. Didn't quite work out for Cleveland. Kuzmanov coming over here to Oakland, part of that Scott Hairston trade this offseason. Hairston on the San Diego to Oakland shuttle. Minnesota Twins ended up winning that game against the White Sox 4-3. That game going into extra frames, 11 innings. The Twins are now 4-1.
They showed a lot of power against the Angels.
They certainly did. 8 home runs. 9 home runs, pardon me.
And this is a spot here now. Jason Bolger has an opportunity ahead of the count. Trust that your catcher Jeff Mathis can block this breaking pitch if you want to throw it in the dirt.
Got him. Mathis touches home plate. A's tack on 2 more. They're up 7-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Down 7-2. Time now for Alexis pursuing perfection. Gio Gonzalez.
Boy, with that good fastball, rushing up there 94 mile an hour, but he's also had that electric slider too. He can elevate it, change eye levels. And that curveball also, and he's mixing a good changeup. That is our Alexis pursuing perfection. Gio Gonzalez, very tough so far in this game. 6 strikeouts in 5 innings pitched. 2 earned runs allowed so far.
72 pitches, 50 have gone for strikes. Part of the order due up for the Angels, Torrey Hunter, Hideki Matsui, Kendry Morales. Torrey 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. 5 hits so far for the Angels. Velocity's come down just a little bit on Gonzalez, perhaps a little reserve in the tank.
Then when you throw that curveball at 77 and at 91, still that differential of 14 miles an hour gets on you that much quicker. You pop that 93-mile-an-hour fastball there after it.
On the ground, foul. Two balls, 2 strikes now. The final book on Matt Palmer, 5 innings plus 3 batters. 7 runs, 5 earned on 8 hits. 3 strikeouts and 2 walks. Torrey pops one up for Barton. Squeeze it, and there's out number 1. Here comes Hideki Matsui. Matsui, his second home run of the year in the 2nd inning. Popped up in the 4th. Angels busting out those red jerseys for the first time this year and trying to change the mojo a little bit.
Sometimes it's up to the starting pitcher to decide on that. Tell you what, in the face of a guy like Gio Gonzalez, you just have to have a solid approach at the plate. You mix up the speed from a curveball, changeup, slider, and then that fastball.
Line right to Gio Gonzalez. Terrific play by the pitcher, and there's out number 2.
Well, what an at-bat, too, Matsui once again against a tough lefty. First pitch, a breaking ball way off the outside part of the plate, then fastball at 94, down in the zone, another curveball. Back in the fastball, line up the middle, nice play by Gonzalez. A lot of times you just throw your glove out there and that baseball just happened to find the glove.
It actually looked like he meant to do that.
No, trust me, you just throw the glove out.
Well, he sold it.
Yeah. He was still looking at his glove thinking, how did that baseball get in there?
0-1 to Kendry. It's low. Morales has lined out and struck out. Gio Gonzalez ahead in the count of 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's been a running theme so far tonight. Morales going the opposite way, chasing Sweeney back onto the warning track, and they'll haul it in. A 1-2-3 inning. 3rd time tonight, the Angels have been retired in order. 6 complete. A's still leading the Halos 7-2. 7-2. Take a look at the numbers for Scott Kazmir tonight. A little rehab start at Rancho Cucamonga. 6 1/3, 7 hits, 6 strikeouts, Gooby.
Big thing, you look at that walks and strikeouts. He's always had that capability of getting the punch out. That nasty slider and fastball. The big thing has always been number of pitches thrown early in the game, but obviously did a solid job last tune-up before the regular season for him.
Jason Bolger still out there. See Matt Palmer in his 5+ innings tonight, giving up 5 earned. Bolger here in the 7th, facing Suzuki, Chavez, and Ellis. Hard hit, but right to Sturz. 1 away. Angel fans, this Saturday, all kids 2 to 18 in attendance will receive a free Rally Monkey lunchbox, courtesy of the San Diego Zoo, plus a chance to take a photo with the Rally Monkey himself from 5 to 8 p.m. Tickets now available for $5 off ticket window prices in select seating areas when using the password SPRING at angelsbaseball.com. Can't wait to take a picture of that furry little critter.
I have to bring my cell phone down and take a picture with you.
Sweet. Bobby Cazaval is up and loosening now. Called up before the game with Rob Quinlan being placed on waivers. Kendrick to his right. 2 outs.
Number 14, second baseman.
Bolger faced 5 batters in that 6th inning. Two inherited runners come across. Trying to sit the A's down in order here in the 7th. Mark Ellis 0 for 3. Reached on the error by Palmer. Tough error at that.
Still a nice approach for Mark Ellis in that particular spot when a man on second hit the ball to the right side. Put himself up for the betterment of the club. Ends up getting on base via the error.
Off the end of the bat, it's 2 balls and a strike. Ellis, of course, former Royal. It's good players come through that system.
A number of them.
They're all pretty good for other teams.
There's been quite a few that been there and then left and put up some pretty good numbers. One point there, that outfield, Jermaine Dye, Carlos Beltran, and Johnny Damon, all in the same outfield. There's some good numbers elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Two. Upstairs, full count. Was the Dye trade, that was a 3-team deal, right? Is that the Roberto Hernandez trade?
So then he came over to Oakland.
He was from Tampa or something?
Yeah.
Right? That worked out. Payoff is upstairs, and it's a 2-out walk.
Well, Jason got underneath that breaking pitch, dropped his elbow. But you're looking on. That's the thing as a pitching coach, you notice that right away. Anytime you see a breaking pitch that it's elevated, that means your elbow is not in proper position to work downhill and have that snap. So have that breaking pitch and a swing and a miss.
With that walk, Travis Buck gets an opportunity. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, a ground out, and a walk.
See, that was the difference. The last pitch, he got underneath it. That one, he stayed on top of that breaking pitch and threw it right in the strike zone.
Bolger coming off a season in which he had 64 appearances. Buck lines with a left center, base hit. Torrey over to cut it off. Heading over to third base is Ellis, and the throw is not in time. And Travis Buck moves up 90 to second base.
Oakland very aggressive. First and third again, taking a page out of the Angels' way of playing baseball. Good swing by Travis Buck the other way on the fastball that was up. So just a little bit high. Charged it well. Gets that hand in before the tag is applied. No, it's very aggressive throughout this game as far as running the bases. And the Oakland club in general.
Cliff Pennington at the plate now. Pennington 0 for 3. Strikeout. Fly ball to center and a pop-up. Good pitch there, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Oakland has had a number of opportunities with men in scoring position tonight. They are 4 for 13. The Angels have only had 2 opportunities, 1 for 2. Whereas the last couple of nights, the issue hasn't been the base runners or them being in scoring position. It's been able to get that knock to bring those guys home.
You see Mike Scioscia, that same expression, regardless if you're up by 5 or down by 5.
Right.
Very calming. So early in the season.
Strike 2.
I've known Mike for a long time. Truly amazing how he keeps that same even keel. Always been that way, even when they're up by a certain amount of games in division. You ever look at the newspaper, check the standings? Nope. I'll check it in the last game of the season.
Tough to worry about things you can't control.
Exactly right. I mean, you can get involved and everyone's saying, what's going on with the club? How come this player's not hitting the ball well? How come somebody's not pitching the way he believes they're going to turn around? He went through such a tough season last year, yet they won 97 games. Because of that attitude. You have a great hitting coach. You got a great pitching coach. Same type of work ethic they have. He delegates a lot of authority to his coaching staff. Ron Rennie has control of all the defense, positioning of the defense. So much authority Mike Scioscia gives all of his coaches.
Breaking ball high and deep to right. Abreu still going back, and that is gone. A 3-run home run for Cliff Pennington, 10-2 A's. The 2-out rally started by a walk. Pitching change. We're in the 7th. A's up 10-2. AT&T. TV, high-speed internet, home phone, and wireless. Visit at AT&T.com or call 1-800-PICK-AT&T for details. And by your Southern California Ford dealers, where you'll find the new Transit Connect. Check it out at scforddealers.com.
Oh, the famous Sunset Strip in Hollywood. Oh, 10-2 Oakland. We're in the 7th. New pitcher on for the Halos. Bobby Kazava takes over on the mound for Jason Bolger. Bolger an inning and a third. Pardon me, inning and 2/3, 3 runs as we look at Bobby Kazava's numbers last season.
Cliff Pennington get a breaking pitch out over the plate to drive that out for a 3-run homer. Boy, that 2-out walk sometimes, it's truly amazing. Nobody going on, nothing going on. 2-out walk, next thing you know, 3 runs are on the board. Gio Gonzalez has been so good this whole game. Has a little more wiggle room now with an 8-run lead.
Rajay Davis facing Kazava. Float one out into center field. Torrey Hunter comes on and makes a terrific running catch. There's the 3rd out of the inning. But the A's tack on 3. 7th inning stretch time at the Big A. 10-2 Oakland.
Great jump. Good read. Nice play.
With Mark Gubicza. 10-2 Oakland here in the 7th. The Angels sending up Rivera, Kendrick, and Wood against Gio Gonzalez. He's racked up 6 strikeouts and walked 1, having allowed just 5 hits. Juan Rivera has one of those 5 hits, a single back in the 2nd. Angels have not allowed 10 or more runs in back-to-back games since July 7th and 8th, 2005. Not only that, if you start looking at the record, you know, back-to-back games is one thing, but you look at 1 and 4, something that, if this score holds up, this franchise not overly familiar with over the last several years. It started 1 and 4 since back in 1992.
5 games into the season. It was in 2002 when they won the World Series. Won 99 games. They started out 6 and 14. I said the right guy at the helm. calming influence, a guy that doesn't panic, believes in his players. But coming out of spring training, he felt this club offensively was going to be his strongest club as far as hitting the ball out of the ballpark and driving runs since that team back in the early 2000s that won the World Series.
All it takes is one big comeback, right?
Exactly, or some starter throwing up a bunch of zeros. Start a game. That guy on the hill certainly tomorrow night. Jared Weaver.
Jared already 1-0 on the season, taking on Ben Sheets tomorrow night as Rivera fouls one back. Just above us. Rivera, Kendrick, and Wood, the scheduled 3 here against Gonzalez. Gonzalez now at 94 pitches, 65 for strikes.
He looks so comfortable on the mound throughout this whole game. We talked about strike zone command. One walk. Mechanics been very well for him tonight. He hasn't even moved around the mound at all.
Rivera out to left field. This one over the head and a one-hopper over Travis Buck's head. Double for Juan Rivera. Leadoff man is on board. That'll bring up Howard Kendrick.
Another good at bat for Juan Rivera against Gio Gonzalez. Last time I've been a rocket to left field for an out. This time Gonzalez with that 10-2 lead, challenging with the fastball. This goal shows it's right down the middle part of the plate. Juan Rivera was able to square it up and hit it for a double.
First extra base hit of the year for Juan Rivera. Bob Guerin is out making a pitching change. Nice outing for Gio Gonzalez. He and the skipper having a brief conversation. Howie Kendrick coming to the plate. We'll get to that pitching change when we return. Angels down 7-2. Earlier in the game, we gave you the Hyundai keys to the game, and it was about this young man right here.
Boy, Gio Gonzalez threw the ball well, but Matt Palmer, on the other hand, needed to go out and throw up some zeros. A red-hot offensive club like Oakland, and every time he made a mistake over middle part of the plate, they made him pay for it. He did be able to make some decent pitches to Mark Ellis, but Mark Ellis at one at bat, though, hit the ball to the right side, advanced the runner.
Edouard Ramirez takes over on the hill for Gio Gonzalez. Howie Kendrick at the plate. Juan Rivera at second base with the leadoff double here in the 7th. Post pitch fastball is outside.
Ramirez has one of those fastballs too, about 86-91, but his bread and butter, though, the pitch he's been famous for is that changeup. He'll also throw a slider too, but a very good changeup by that same arm slide as his fastball.
Second outing of the year for Ramirez. He missed outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Last year with the Yankees, 20 relief appearances and a 5.73 ERA in 2 stints. One appearance against the Angels last year. Inning in 2/3, gave up a hit as Howard takes a strike. Ramirez with the Rangers in spring training and picked up.
So putting on that changeup sign right there. There it was. That was good arm speed, 75-mile-an-hour changeup. This one will show good arm slot, the circle changeup. This comes out of those 3 fingers out the side. It's a nasty pitch if you have the same arm speed as your fastball. Difficult to pick up a hitter.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Trying to get into chase again on that off-speed pitch, and it's a full count. There's Juan Rivera leading off at second. Brandon Wood on deck. Gets a payoff pitch. Foul at the play, that one. May have just gotten Kurt Suzuki underneath that right leg area.
The thing is, when you look up, 10-2 score, if you don't throw that first strike, that changeup, your manager and your pitching coach are going to be pretty upset with you. The only way you can allow a club back into a game like this is if you walk batters. Pretty gutsy. You must have a lot of confidence to go throw that changeup for a strike to throw it in that spot. Series of signing, probably the last sign there. Fastball.
And he lays off, and it's a walk. Oh, Brandon Wood coming to the plate, obviously struggling to start. Torrey Hunter's taking him under his wing. This is what Torrey had to say to Jocelyn Pierce.
Now Brandon Wood is, coming in for Sean Figgins, one of the superstars here for the last couple of years, and a fan favorite too. So Brandon Wood is stepping in and trying to fill those shoes. I told him, don't fill those shoes. Get your own shoes to fill. You wear a bigger size than he does.
He's trying to show him the confidence. He's going to take him under his wing. Similar to what he did last year when Howie was sent down to AAA. Torrey said he's going to make sure he helps him through the tough times, the mental parts of the game of baseball. And we saw what Howie was able to do in that second half, at about 360. He'll do the same, get that confidence going for Brandon.
Quickly in the hole, and no balls and 2 strikes. Brandon is grounded to short and struck out. Ramirez and Suzuki with a quick conversation. The 0-2. Breaking ball, popped up right field. There's out number 1. So that'll bring up Jeff Mathis. Mathis tonight 1 for 2, a strikeout back in the 3rd, a single in the 5th. Rivera the responsibility of Gio Gonzalez. The book's still open on him after going 6+ innings and 6 strikeouts. Chasing the high fastball. It's no balls, 2 strikes. Off speed, got him.
Well, that's that changeup. Talk about changing eye levels. Fastball up and out of the strike zone, and followed up with that changeup at 77 miles an hour. Out of the zone. And that was a tough pitch. That's that circle changeup. That really shows that rotation of that pitch. Way out in front, Jeff Mathis was.
Meister takes strike 1. He's 2 for 3. A couple of singles and an RBI. Juan Rivera with that leadoff double, still at second base. Kendrick threw the walk. He's at first. Popped up by the infield. Long run in for Kevin Kuzminoff. Is out number 3. Gio Gonzalez in line for his first win of the year after 6 strong innings, 7 complete. A's up 10-2. Is still out there. And this Saturday, April 17th, the Angels are having a yard sale between the hats. Items include authentic clubhouse chairs, stadium banners, game-used jerseys, and hats. Early entry for season seat holders is from 9 a.m. to 10. Everyone is welcome after 10. All sales are final. Cash only, please. Make your plans to be at the Angels yard sale. Not this Saturday, but Saturday, April 17th. New center fielder for the Angels, Terry Evans, takes over from Torrey Hunter. Bobby Wilson is the new first baseman, taking over for Kendry Morales. And skied out to center. Here comes Terry Evans.
Boy, it's almost automatic. Until you come in the game and the baseball is going to find you. And it wasn't an easy play, too, for Terry Evans. He had to go a long, long way to make that play.
I was just going to say that. Gazavon being recalled before the ball game. Rob Quinlan being optioned down to AAA Salt Lake. Brian Sweeney takes a strike. Sweeney 1 for 4, had a single in the 5th. Caswell, originally a 34th round pick by the Angels in 04. Pitched in 9 spring training games, was 1-0 with a 1.08 ERA. He'd gotten 1 scoreless inning of relief work in Salt Lake before being summoned here. On the ground, Kendrick to Wilson, 2 outs.
Mark showing some good all-speed pitches, sinking fastball. Some quick outs. The key is always, no matter what, is getting ahead. The hitters, finish them off with your secondary pitches. Gio Gonzalez did that very well tonight. We talked about him, at times commanded the strike zone, going away from him, but that wasn't the case tonight.
Extremely sharp from start to finish. Kuzmanov puts it on the ground. Asturias picks up the skimmer. A 1-2-3 inning for Bobby Kazabal. Middle of the 8th. The Angels trail the Athletics 10-2.
Jack in the Box. Try Jack's new grilled sandwiches, the turkey bacon cheddar, or the deli trio at participating restaurants. And by Toyota. Get a great deal on Toyota's full line of hybrid and fuel-efficient vehicles at your Toyota dealer today.
Oakland's up 10-2 as we get to the bottom of the 8th inning. Just want to remind you, when you're traveling this season, take the Angels with you. Subscribe to MLB.TV today to see every Angels game live or on demand on your computer. Local in-market blackouts will apply. Visit angelsbaseball.com to order and get more details. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. 2, 3, and 4. Due up for the Angels here in the 8th. Bobby Abreu tonight 0 for 3. By the way, Scott Kazmir finished that rehab start with Rancho Cucamonga, 6 1/3, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and Reggie Willits went 2 for 3 with a double.
Good sign, especially Scott Kazmir stretching it out, getting that pitch count up.
Toward the hole, Pennington, a tough play. Safe at first. Infield single for Bobby Abreu.
Nice play by Pennington, playing Bobby up the middle off the end of the bat. Around the baseball on the run, makes a strong throw, but Bobby Abreu still gets down the line quickly.
We'll bring up Terry Evans for his first AB of the season. He's played in 19 games in the big leagues. Rolling that first pitch foul. Does have a home run, 3 runs batted in. Good numbers at AAA last year. The guy who's out of options, making the opening day roster.
Remember, it counts tonight 0-2 against Angel hitters. So Oakland A's pitching staff, the tutelage of Kurt Young, the pitching coach, attacking the strike zone.
Down goes Evans for out number 1.
So this changeup, I'll tell you what, is very difficult to get a good swing at it because it's always out of the zone. Same arm size of fastball you think as a hitter, read fastball, but look how far out in front Terry Evans was on that pitch.
I have 17 strikeouts for Angel hitters over the last 2 games. Get that a lot when, as we've seen over the last couple of games, 0-2, 1-2 counts. Pitchers pitching ahead.
Hey, you wonder sometimes, you want to be patient at the plate. But that first pitch sometimes could be that fastball, your best pitch to hit.
That one and only pitch to hit.
Yeah. Because if you're a pitcher, you're getting your secondary pitches over on a consistent basis. It's very difficult to hit. So you want to be patient, yet you also want to, when you get that fastball, you don't want to let that get away from you.
Matsui on the ground towards first, but foul.
Look up again, another 0-2 count. Mickey Hatcher's, he's all about patience at the plate, but he also is a guy that believes if there's a fastball there that you can drive, why take that pitch? Now, if it's off the corner or a pitcher's pitch, take it. Might be called a ball, or even if it's a strike, you're not going to make a good pass at it anyhow. But if it's a fastball middle part of the plate, you got to go up there hacking.
Mm-hmm. Change up in the dirt, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Matsui 1 for 3, had that home run back in the second. Sits back on it and lines one to right. Sweeney is there for round number 2. I'll tell you what, the deck is pretty locked in right now.
Even when you fool him a little bit, hips open up, he's still able to keep his hands back long enough and still hit that ball hard. All-speed pitch. I mean, you can't execute that any better yet. Matsui hit that ball hard to right field. You have to have just a trust in your hands.
Bobby Wilson takes a breaking ball outside. 271 last year at AAA. He shoots one out to deep right, playable for Sweeney. It's the 3rd out. Leadoff man is stranded. We've played 8 here at the Big A. The Angels still trailing. One come out and meet it. Angels reliever Kevin Jepson at the AT&T store located at 4678 Campus Drive in the city of Newport Beach at Saturday, 11:30 a.m. All courtesy of AT&T. Here in the ninth, Kurt Suzuki, Eric Chavez, Mark Ellis has scheduled 3 batters against Bobby Casaubon, who's worked an inning in the third. He's faced 4 batters. He's retired all 4. 2 flyouts, 2 groundouts. Suzuki takes down and in.
He's thinking about the comeback.
He is.
The bottom of the ninth.
On the ground, nice play by Brandon Wood to his left. Bobby Wilson to the backhand dig. There's out number 1.
Nice range again for Brandon Wood there at third base. Double looked like for sure was going to be in the outfield for a base hit. Full extension gets up, makes the throw. Bobby Wilson with the scoop over at first. Showing some solid range at third base.
A couple of youngsters. Corner to corner. Chavez.
That was all the talk too, Victor, coming out. Bobby Wilson, the third catcher, but Mike Socha said that right away, that Bobby Wilson could play a number of positions. He could play first, he could play third, catch for you. Solid anywhere you put him defensively.
One for 4 is Chavez, the A's DH. Casaubon can field his position as well. 2 outs. Here comes Mark Ellis. Back at it tomorrow night, 6:05 first pitch. Ben Sheets going for Oakland. Jared Weaver going for the Halos. Ellis breaks his bat. Loops went out into shallow center for a base hit. A 2-out base hit for the A's and Mark Ellis. They had a rally in the second inning in which they scored a run with 2 outs.
Number 18, Gabe Gross.
Did the same thing in the 7th. Ended up getting 3 runs on that 3-run home run by Cliff Pennington. Gabe Gross pinch hitting now for Travis Buck. Gross over the last couple of years doing a heck of a job with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Home run power, and he has a great arm in right field when he was playing for the Rays. Nice little guy. Know how to use him all over the place. Remember the Oakland A's. Versatile.
Hard hit, but bobbled by Kendrick. Tries to go to second. Everybody is safe. More than likely get charged with an error, and certainly he does.
Number 2, shortstop.
And the ball came up just the very end, hit him in the heel of the glove. Bounces away from Howie.
Third error of the night for the Angels. Here's Cliff Pennington.
When you think about tomorrow night with Jared Weaver on the hill, that's what you relish is a #1 guy to set the tone, put up some zeros for your club. Well, all the rest of the pitchers can feed off of that. It becomes a friendly competition. For Jared to put up some good numbers, use that all-speed pitch, his fastball, which was clocked at 94, 95 the other day, his first time out.
Casavol's fastball got a little late life to it, didn't it?
When he gets through that zone, that little giddy up. Pretty good cheese on that fastball at times.
Two balls, two strikes. Tough go thus far for the Angels, down 10-2 here in the ninth. 13 hits racked out by the Oakland A's. 7 for the Halos. Ellis at second and Groves over at first. And he got him. Down goes Pennington. We head to the bottom of the ninth. The Angels did serious work down by 8. Before the ball game, Jared Weaver, tomorrow night's starter, the first recipient of the Nick Adenhart Award, voted on by the players for the pitcher of the year. And of course, Jared and Nick, very close friends. Same with Bobby Wilson and Brandon Wood, teammates with them in the minor leagues.
Jared was going to take him under his wings and have him as his roommate start that year last year.
1 year ago today, Nick Adenhart losing his life in a horrible accident. After a masterful performance against this Oakland A's ball club, going 6 innings, 7 hits, 5 strikeouts.
That 6th inning, 7 pitches, 7 strikes.
That's inside. Look at Gabe Gross out in left field. Pinch hit for Travis Buck. Adam Rosales takes over at second base. Changeup.
Tell you what, that's an amazing pitch. It's one of those pitches, though, when you're trying to teach a young person to pitch, don't think in the lines of curveball, sliders. Changeup, fastball, changeup combo is still the best. It's deadly combo you can throw. They see fastball, then the off speed, the change of speed gets the hitter out all the time.
Rivera deep to left center field. Rajay Davis back at the wall and gone. Juan Rivera goes big fly for his first of the year. 10-3 Oakland.
Well, it's a good sign. Juan Rivera's having a good game, hitting the ball hard. All four at bats. Time Rivera throws him a fastball. They've been throwing a good changeup. He's trying to sneak a fastball at 86. Unable to do so.
Here's Howie Kendrick. Takes outside.
Boy, up. Just a spinner. And underneath that breaking pitch. Hits it out.
Oh, what a job. That may have taken somebody out in the Oakland dugout. See if they give him the old combination platter, hitting an error.
A chopper off the plate. All you can do as a pitcher, catch that with the bearing to make that throw. He had a little more time than he anticipated.
That was gas. Watch out. Alfredo Griffin having a duck.
He still had the change-up grip, but he threw the fastball with it. Alfredo get out of the way.
First pitch to Brandon is outside. Looks like it just might be a straight error. Now he gets a reaching, I should say, on the error by Ramirez. Curtin Young out to the mound. Brandon 0 for 3. That's all the way to the backstop. Ramirez out of the sync, just a little out of sync.
They got that slider up to Juan Rivera, hits it out, then a chopper. Tried to overthrow that throw, then all of a sudden, yeah, you're right, out of whack. Not even close to the location. One of those changeup. This time he overthrew it. Way in front of the plate. Suzuki, no chance to block it.
On the ground to third. One away. Brings up Jeff Mathis. Jeff 1 for 3 with a single in the fifth. Found off the out. It's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Mathis skying one to right center field. Rajay Davis with the call. Bobbles it, he drops it. Coming home is Howie Kendrick. He'll score 10-4 Oakland.
Well, Howie looked like he was going on that no matter what, anyhow. So it might still be a sacrifice, but an error on Davis in center field.
That's going to be it for Edouard Ramirez.
Well, you can see him looking to see if he was going to go. Well, he's going to get the sacrifice fly. You can see Howie all along, and Dino Evil talking to him, sending him. I talked to Dino about him and the arm strength of Roger Davis before the game. He said they would challenge him.
Pitching change. We're in the ninth. 10-4 Oakland. Angels trying to get it going. One out, 2 runs in. Just in case you were scoring home, Jeff Ganathis gets credit for an RBI sacrifice. It was also the error by Rajay Davis. We see the numbers for Craig Breslow, 77 games last year with a 3.36 ERA.
Well, that's a lot of decisions out of that bullpen role. 8-7 mark.
29-year-old left-hander will face Meiser Asturis, top of the order now. Way inside, it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
So settles in around 85 to 89 mile an hour in a fastball. Does have a curveball, slider, and a changeup.
Meiser tonight 2 for 4. Had a couple of singles, an RBI. His second run batted into the season. That one on the outside corner. Just got a piece of it. Suzuki getting dinged up a little bit tonight. Beneficiary of a couple of foul balls.
It's a nice job as far as blocking pitches in the dirt. Calls a good game also for Oakland.
Got him. Pulled the string. 2 outs. bring up Bobby Abreu. Bobby tonight 1 for 4, had a single in the 8th. Hayes with the 13 hits. Angels with 8. 5 errors total in this ballgame. 2 by Oakland, 3 for the Angels. Uncharacteristic for the Angels for sure, and for the A's this season. They've been very good defensively to go with that pitching and hitting. Brave fouls it.
Another one.
Suzuki. Ice him down. Don't rub it.
He's shaking his head going, oh, how many foul tips am I going to have to absorb throughout this game?
There was a game a couple of years ago. Bruce Fleming was just getting foul ball after foul ball off the mask. Little Bruce. Lays off that tough breaking pitch, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, nice strikeout call, though.
Yeah.
Pretty emphatic with that one.
Two on its way. And he got him with the breaking ball. And the Oakland Athletics take game 1 of this 3-game series by the final of 10-4.
I'll tell you what, all 3 phases for the Angels not going exactly where Mike Scioscia had planned coming into the season. The defense hasn't been consistent. The starting pitching and the pitching overall has not been there. And of course, the offense had some opportunities throughout the series against Minnesota and here tonight. You just need to get that clutch 2-out base hit with the runner in scoring position. When you do that, you're going to win some games. But give Oakland credit. They had some good approaches at the plate against Matt Palmer tonight. Put the ball in play. Very aggressive base running for Oakland. A little bit different than it has been in the past.
Putting the pressure on the opposition. That's what they've been doing. They did it against Seattle, and now doing it here in game number 1. Once again, the final. Oakland picks up the victory 10-4. Angels Live starts right now. Let's go out to Bill McDonald.